Hey everybody, Coach Conley here with Conley Hoops. Today's video is all about the varsity mentality, creating the right mindset to be a varsity basketball player. As a varsity basketball coach for the last 9 years, I've coached many players throughout the last 25 years on getting all the way through this process, even through college. And I can tell you today's video can really help you with some keys to help you prepare mentally for this game. They say everything you do is 10% physical and almost 90% mental. And I agree, almost. Obviously, there's a lot of things that physical skills can't replace. I mean, even at my age, I don't have the physical skills anymore. I think my mind's working right. But the reality is, I'm not as good as I used to be, regardless. One of the keys is success. Success breeds confidence, which breeds winners, which gives you an opportunity to be a starter. Now, of course, a lot of people will talk about like a chicken and egg mentality here. And that's where like most people think, well, if my kid doesn't play, then he can't really get on the court, he won't get success. But I really do disagree. Obviously, there's a lot of opportunity to play, and you need that. But it really comes down to the moment. Once you make varsity, you have to have that mentality already. There's really no way to substitute it, right? Like, you have to know what is happening. You have to be confident. Your coaches are going to yell at you. And if you aren't already prepared for that, it's not going to work out. It doesn't matter if you get 30 seconds or 5 minutes or whatever. As a coach, like I deal with this all the time, man. There's a lot of times where I want to put kids in the game. And I can't because they're not ready. They haven't shown me in practice. They don't have the confidence to be able to deal with me screaming at their face every day and really making them more competitive, right? And you have to be confident to compete no matter what. So yeah, you can't get better if you don't play, but you also need to play to get better. And I grew up and it was different. I know. But there's club, there's training, there's practice. But I will tell you, the best players that I've ever had have always played even more than that. They stay an extra 30 to 45 minutes after practice playing one-on-one or getting shots up or running. They play open gyms whenever and wherever they are. You need to build that confidence almost outside of what is happening on a daily basis in your program, because we get into kind of a routine, right? We think as players and as coaches, like especially players, right? We want kids to be successful, but the biggest thing they can do is play to be successful. And I will always be behind playing. When I was growing up, I wasn't a starter. I didn't actually get to be a starter my whole high school career. Wasn't until junior college where I actually got to start a lot. And you have to be able to put yourself in situations where you can make plays, score when there's an opportunity. And if you're not there, you won't be ready for it in a high-pressure game and intense situations. And yeah, of course, kids that get to play more obviously develop, but I've also had kids that come out of nowhere and just have it when they get in the game. So it doesn't really matter what your thoughts are on whether you need to play varsity games. There's enough opportunities out there to play that you can take to build your confidence. One of the best stories I have is about Tom Brady. I was reading his book, TV12, the other day, and it really shocked me because he talks about, you're talking about a guy that was always a backup pretty much. He got some career starts at Michigan, but when he got to the NFL, one of his biggest things in there was I played every rep that I got like I was a starter. And he explains he might get like 3 reps a whole practice, but he made those reps like they were playing for the Super Bowl. And I think that was when he was first starting. And you can see when he takes practice so seriously, he never treated practice like it was practice. He always treated it like a game. And when we're talking about competition, which is what we're really talking about, if you're not competing that hard every time you go out, like it is a game situation, win or lose every single possession, then you're not creating the mentality that you need to be successful at this level. The main point here is, where do you get that experience? If you're not playing in those games, you got to learn, you got to study, you got to get those reps somewhere. If it's at practice, be the best practice player. If it's after practice, play one-on-one with people, especially guys that might be in front of you, and beat them. Not just play with them, beat them badly. If that's what you're doing in after practice, I guarantee it's going to translate eventually. Bottom line is always have a starter's mentality. It doesn't matter that you're not starting. I grew up and a lot of guys always told me, yo, like, you should be a starter. You should. And so I had that mentality, except I couldn't get off the bench. So when I played open gym, when I played pickup, I played like the best player. And I always, and again, being accountable, being self-aware is a huge part of this. And so like when you're doing this, the most important thing you can do is be self-aware about what you are doing. If you're not the best player in the gym, own that and get better. The only way to do that is to continue practicing, learning, and playing. And give the coaches what they want. A lot of times, and I see this all the time in high school sports, I see a lot of kids that are doing what they think the coach wants and not what the coach wants. Because one, maybe they can't do it, but two, they always want to go outside themselves. If they're a great shooter, they want to like drive. If they're a driver, they want to shoot. And again, coaches just want you to be trustworthy in what you can do. So if you're a shooter, shoot. If you pass, I don't need that. I put you on the floor to shoot. So it's really important that you do what you are capable of. I don't need more than that. I just need extreme effort and discipline on the things that you can be good at. And concentrate on 3 or 4 skills like that. Like, be a 3-and-D guy. There's nothing wrong with that. It's actually one of the most successful positions you can play these days in basketball. So know what you do it well, and then you can always add things to your game outside of that. But be good at what you're good at first. Don't go outside of yourself. Lastly, to have a varsity mentality, sometimes you need to change your mind. And when I'm talking about changing your mind, I'm talking about if you're not starting, you don't have to be like, well, I should be starting. Like maybe maybe everybody in front of you is better. I had that situation. I thought I could start, but I wasn't. You know why? Because people were better than me. They were taller than me. They were more athletic. It wasn't that I wasn't good. And I think too often parents and kids get confused that it's not because your kid is not good or a good player or a good kid. He might just not be better than somebody else that fits the system the coach is talking about and playing during the season. So, for the kid, it's more about like, how do you adapt to the situation? If you're not playing a lot, how do you change that mind and say, I am going to be the best guy on the bench. I'm going to be the starter from the bench like I was injured. Like I might not play at all, but every day I'm coming to practice early. I'm staying late. I'm going to find out what the coach needs. I'm going to study film. I'm going to see what I can do every day to get better than somebody. But I'm always going to have that starter's mentality. I'm not going to wait for my opportunity. I'm making my opportunities every day, and that's what's going to translate. And he's probably already made some decisions that fit his program. You have the choice to change how you view your situation. And all you can do is make the best out of it. There's obviously a bunch of different ways you can handle it. But how you choose to look at every day is what's going to set you apart in the long run. If you want more help with your varsity skills and to help you achieve your goal of becoming a varsity basketball player, download our Varsity Blueprint today and get started. We'll be there to help you every step of the way. Hey everybody, thanks for watching this video from Conley Hoops on creating a varsity mentality. Hit subscribe and we'll see you next time.